What is up, podcast? We're back again. Episode 6, I believe now. We're 6 episodes deep into this, so I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Everybody on the podcast, Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you're listening, thank you. People on YouTube that are watching and listening, shout outs to you as well. We're getting a few more listeners here and there. I've been looking at the data again. I am doing this like a cool thing that I'm having fun with at the moment, and I have been promoting it on my Instagram. And so shout outs to everybody that have come through from my Instagram from the last episode, and people that are just finding it in general. I haven't been promoting it much, but for those that have been listening and watching, big thank you to you. It really means a lot to me as well that people are listening to some things that I'm saying that I've gone through as a magician or just in life that I've just been talking about. So big thank you again to all of you. So what is episode 6 about? It is performing at gigs. So as you know by now, I am a magician. So I have performed at gigs from 2014, so it's about 6 years now. I'd probably say 5 because I haven't really had a gig this year. I'm still an up and coming performer / magician, so I do not get booked consistently, but it's something that I'm aiming for, and it's something that when I do get booked to perform, I give it 100%. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do at gigs, some of the best gigs that I've performed at, how do I just get gigs in general. If you're quite interested in that, I'll tell you about how I've got some gigs in the past, what I've done, and if people come to me, I'll let you know all about that. And let's just roll right into it. I am actually looking forward to talking about this because it's something that I've never really talked about before, and I don't really hear from many other magicians as well, just in general. So if you are a magician listening to this or some sort of performer, hopefully you'll find this interesting. If you are just a general listener, I hope you like what I'm about to say, or it just gives you some sort of interest what it's like from magician's perspective of how to like do gigs, what the procedures are that us magicians do. So I'm going to kind of put it in the magician category / performer category, so if you can relate to this at some level, then I hope it helps, but if you are just listening, I hope you're just interested in it. So at gigs, so what do I normally perform? What gigs do I perform at? So I do weddings. So I do quite a lot of Indian weddings. I've done birthdays in the past. I haven't done a birthday party in about a year now. But I do quite a lot of private parties, and something that's quite recent in my career so far is like award shows. So that's quite an interesting category to go into, which I'll talk about later. But they're kind of like the types of events that I do at the moment. And also New Year's Eve parties as well. They're awesome performing at, by the way. So at weddings, mainly an Asian wedding. If you guys don't know what an Asian wedding's like, or an Indian wedding, there's too many people there basically, but it is an event, it is a special day for the bride and groom. So I normally roll up, probably at the reception, or where people are taking the seats, about to have starters or just after starters. So in the reception part where everybody just arrives at the hall, people are just there mingling. It's after the couple have actually got married at the temple. So you kind of get everybody going to the hall, and that would be my cue to roll in and show some close-up magic to everybody that's there, basically, because you've got people from the boys' side, you've got people from the girls' side, and they're not really sure how to mingle with each other, as you can say. Some do, don't get me wrong, but everybody's kind of like more comfortable with their own side. So that's where I roll in. I really like break the ice, especially for the people that are just stood there not knowing what to do, that are just waiting to get onto a table. So that's mainly where I come in. I show some close-up magic, card magic, and I kind of like wow everybody, break the ice. It gets the tensions down. It kind of, the shield that people have got up initially when they see me, it kind of just breaks down slowly, and they get to know me as well. And everybody just has a good time. So this can go for about, I don't know, 10, 15 plus minutes. It depends really on like what the event planners do, how long they are. I kind of like listen to the DJ when they say tables are ready and stuff, and I know that's my cue to leave. But otherwise, other than that kind of start to a wedding, I kind of like go in between the tables. So I like to work around the tables in a square around the hall, depending on the size. So if it is quite a big function, I kind of like work myself on the outside and then kind of like guide my way in through the middle on the inside. Obviously not forgetting the bride and groom as well. So I kind of go table to table, show everybody close-up magic. It's nice, everybody's got their table, they're kind of relaxed, show some close-up magic here and there. Roughly I do about 2 hours plus, you can say. Like I said before, it depends on the size of the gig, how long people want me to perform for, book me. So that's kind of a glimpse into that area. On birthdays are a little bit different. The size tends to be tremendously smaller to weddings, but it kind of depends where it is. If it's at like a restaurant, I kind of stroll, table magic, close up, you're probably talking about an hour or less. If it's quite a big function, or you're talking about maybe an hour plus, just going around, kind of the same similarities, table to table, to the wedding one, or just going close up, kind of do something special for the birthday person as well. I know recently I did a private one at somebody's, a client's house, sorry, and that went really well. It was kind of like a stage / close up type of performance for card magic. So it kind of really depends again on the size of the event, how many people. But in the past I have done different sizes and amounts of people and events as well. So it's kind of similar to the weddings, but just like a more closer environment, less people, and you can engage more. You can say, as compared to weddings, you need to go around a certain amount of people in a certain amount of time, so it can be quite different for my magic that I perform. I have to perform quick, snappy, visual magic for weddings, so the whole table see, whereas birthdays I can maybe go a bit slower, more close up, and I can go to more people around a table, as you can say. So it kind of affects the magic that I perform as well. Private parties, I'm going to include this into the awards one as well, because award shows are probably, personally for me, one of my favourites. Now, there's this award show that's recently happened in Yorkshire, and I'm going to big them up. Joel, Anthony, you big yourself up, because I'm going to tell you a quick story. I DM'd Yorkshire Entertainment Awards, that was the name of the event, I DM'd them on Instagram probably the week that the event was happening, and I said to whoever this is, I would perform for free for you, close up magic at your awards event. This was the first award show that I'd ever done, and I was really excited, and I was hoping for a reply back. And he replied back saying, you know, it's a bit late, but if you want to do it, come. I know you're doing it for free. You'd help us out a lot. So I went there, rolled up. This was in 2018. So it's probably one of the best events I'd done because it was such a different environment that I've been to before, and it was for the entertainment awards. It was for UK, Leeds, all the areas around the UK, rap artists, singers, etc. So it was amazing. It was probably one of the best events that I've done, and that would be similar to close up table magic as well. And I loved it so much I stayed the whole night there. Because it was such a different experience for me personally, so I loved it. And big up Anthony again, you know what I mean, because he trusted me for that, and you know, we smashed it with the first one, and we did the second one the year after. That was still in Leeds, and yeah, that was even better. So that was probably one of the best. Talking about one of the best, other than the Yorkshire Entertainment Awards, I'm going to roll over to another personal favourite of mine, and this is classed in the private party events, as you can say as well. It is if I can get this right, the Children's Heart Surgery Fund 30th Anniversary Ball. Now, this is a charity that I've worked with in the past, and I've helped them out for free, just out of my generosity, and I really believe in what they do, and they've given me so much good feedback in the past as well. I've worked with a few people there in the past at different events as well that have recommended me, so that's how that first started. So their 30th anniversary ball was in Leeds, and I performed there, and the environment I was used to the environment, but just it was a different type of vibe that I got there, and the people loved the magic, and they were really friendly, even, you know, had food for me to eat and things like that. So they were very friendly people. I wouldn't change anything that I did that night. I performed close-up magic, table magic. It was one of the best events, up there with the Yorkshire Entertainment Awards. It's probably in my top 5, even top 3 maybe. So yeah, that was one of the best events that I did, and that was back in 2018. That was actually happened a week after the Yorkshire Entertainment Awards. That's how much of a good memory I've got. I can remember actually it was a week after that, so I had a good couple of weeks back then as well. And yeah, that just happened, networking, and they asked me to perform, and so I performed there as well. So I'm gonna roll in to how I got gigs like this, and it's not easy. First and foremost, you just have to get yourself out there. I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to meet different people. Same, I'm still trying to improve on this myself, so I can get a consistent run of bookings. Personally, I like to use social media to interact with other people. So like I've said in that Yorkshire Entertainment Awards story, I DM'd the Instagram page and they DM'd me back, and you can say I was lucky, but if I hadn't have done it, I wouldn't be here sitting telling you that story. And I got 2 bookings off that, hopefully a third one once this virus all goes. Maybe it might go along this year, who knows. Usually it's in October time, but it's just getting yourself out there. When people see your social media and things that you've been doing online, they can kind of come to you, direct message you saying, oh, are you available, you know, I really like your content and stuff. like that. Personally, that hasn't happened to me, but I know to other people it has happened. Mainly for myself, I just like to connect with people at events or just wherever I'm at if they've got something going on. And it's always, you've got to provide a solution for their problem. So if they've got something going on at their event that you can find a solution for, whereas for myself it's magic, then I can use that to their advantage. So as in a wedding for the reception where people are waiting, I can go in and do magic and break the ice for everybody. That's perfect. So that's what I would do. People book me. So over the years I've performed for so many people, I get what's the word I'm looking for? Repeat bookings. So people book me again, and over there it's like a tree. People want to book me for this event that they've seen me at. So that's kind of like where that stems upon as well. And the last thing is, we've talked about online, we've talked about social media, but it's just about how much you practice what you love as well. If you practice enough and perform enough, like I've said previously, people will realise how good you are. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best performer in the world, but I know at certain things that I perform that maybe I've not shown on my social media, it's kind of like a surprise and wow factor to people. So when they do see me, they're like, wow, I didn't know he could do something like that. They're like, I want him at my wedding or my party to do this and that. So it's kind of like something that's quite unique that maybe you have to yourself that can be an advantage, that can maybe get you booked, and you never know. Like I said in my previous story in the last episode, from that event that I did at Ellis, I got quite a few other events after that and a few repeat bookings as well. So that's how it happens. But the one thing to take away from getting gigs is just to get yourself out there. That's what I do. So that's what I'm still doing. Once this whole virus thing goes, I'll get myself out there again, and hopefully we can get booked more, and more people will know, and hopefully, you never know, we can get a consistent run. I know that's what I want to do. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I know it was a quick one. I've actually had quite a busy day. I won't talk about it, but just in the shop had a few deliveries and this and that, so that's why this was a quick one today. I've got to go back in, do a few things here and there. But if you actually haven't heard or seen that podcast, I believe it was episode 3. I talk about working in the shop here and that. I can actually plug a few episodes now because I'm about 6 episodes deep, so I can like promote it back to the last episode. If I wasn't clear on a few things in this episode, please let me know. I want to know if I'm doing any other good job here or not. I know people have messaged me in the past or commented on YouTube. Just let me know if I'm doing anything good, if you want me to improve on anything. I know I'm going to watch this back in my YouTube edit and see how I can improve also. But this is just something that I love doing at the moment, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time, like I've said previously, and I was actually going to do this in the back end of this year, but since this virus happened, I kind of like just pulled it forward and thought, you know what, we'll give it a go, and here we are 6 episodes in. So if you did enjoy this episode, review it if you want on Apple Podcasts here and there. Give it a like, subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you all in episode 7. So have a good day or night wherever you are. Thank you.